I have been working in IT for close to a year and a half, where I travel to customers' homes and businesses to fix things. Mid-December I got a call where the man has hacker issues. He explained people were getting into his computers and tracking his movements too. My boss has more experience, but the issues sounded like I could handle them. The main issue was it was a 2.5-hour drive to this person's home. The man said he was desperate and needed anyone to help him. I drove to his home on a Monday and arrived to see his house surrounded by cameras, but it was some adden type of house. He came out and asked me to check his cars for trackers, which I did have equipment to do as my boss has trained me to use it. I told him to turn his ignition on in his car, which a blue line went up to show a signal. The man saw it and got all excited that I found the tracker. I said it's Bluetooth, and he then went on about them tracking him using Bluetooth. I explained Bluetooth doesn't work more than 15 meters away and that they would have be within that circle. This was just the start of a fun day. He then told me they broke into his house and stole his insulation out of the ceiling. They also broke his mower so the grass is long up to the house so they can sneak to it. They also erased the footage off his camera system of them breaking in. I said, how did they erase it on the way out? He got angry because every single thing he was trying to tell me I kept coming back with a "this is not possible" or "who would bother." I wanted to then leave and try salvage some of the day to someone who would also pay, as he explained that he wants this done under insurance, specifically a hacker insurance he thinks he has. Later revealed he doesn't. I told him for that to work there needs to be evidence, and since there is none, this is not going to be able to be claimed. He got angry and went to stomp outside in the grass. Meanwhile his wife is there, and I thought, okay, she will tell me he's nuts, but no, she tells me her boss watches her through the camera because her screen flickers sometimes. Screens don't flicker when someone is in your computer, that's a movie thing. She was sure he watches her and also mentioned she doesn't get dressed sometimes in the morning. I don't know why my brain didn't break at this moment, but I said, maybe you should get dressed or cover the camera when not using it. Her boss doesn't watch her. There was nothing in the computer to indicate anything touched the camera at all. She didn't even have the driver enabled. He came back in after he calmed down and told me about them coming in and breaking into his safe, erasing his backup hard drives. All 16 of them, and making it look like nothing was touched. He gave me the drives and wanted me to take them back to my work to use on a data recovery. He started up a tower computer which was about 14 years old and said that he had been working on a program for the last 10 years. Nobody can have it, it's worth billions. Okay. Windows XP starts up and he doesn't know his password. But they changed it so he can't get in. I get around the password and on his screen is a folder which is titled Solution to the Global Energy Crisis. He claimed this is his life's work. Empty. He tells me they deleted it. But it's got to be on one of those 16 drives. I did some investigation and found this folder was created the day before, so he had to have been in his computer yesterday. But he said he hasn't started the computer for months. He wanted me to take this computer too. Good, because I just wanted to leave at this point. Then he offers drinks, but no, I am fine. Sure, there's something in the water in this area maybe. Brings out 3 laptops, wants them all wiped and fresh installs. Odd. Needs 2 of them now so he can begin work. Odd. I am doing that where all 3 are taking their time, and while waiting he begins massaging his wife right next to me. She begins moaning like it's a sexual pleasure for her too, and I get really uncomfortable. The stupid oldest laptop is saying welcome for YAAI too long. I get them finished and then it's getting dark. He offers for me to spend the night as it's dangerous on the road at night. 2 to 3 hours home driving. I say I have heaps to do in the morning and leave the house. I got in the car and he is talking to me about other issues, such as bolts being loosened in his shed so the roof will fall on him and a water pump being broken. They are trying to dehydrate him along with the insulation out of the ceiling. As I am backing up, he is guiding me back but towards a ditch. Yet I can turn because there is heaps of room, but he kept wanting me to go back into this ditch to get me stuck. I turned anyway like I didn't hear him and then I could leave. I almost had a nervous breakdown when driving down the road. I had not had to deal with people like this before, and thinking about it after, I should have just walked out at the insulation ceiling part. Yet it's my feeling to just help people who need it. Driving away about 20 minutes, I see headlights behind still at a fair distance. I am the paranoid one now, thinking it's him. Maybe I forgot something and he is going to chase me down to get me to turn around or something. It's like open country winding roads, and I turned and stopped over a hill and turned the car off. Lights off. Car goes past. I think how stupid, it's not him, can't be. I continue driving and it's him. He stopped to fuel up. Knew his car from the rust stain on the back. He is trying to hurry the pump too by moving, not that it helps. Then I have the issue of he will see me driving past behind him, so I turned down a street which leads to another, but the GPS said 30 minutes longer to go this way. I think, oh, worth it, I go that way home. He went the other way. I get home and see the messages on our work app, and he did ring 3 times to say he didn't think it was safe for me to drive in the dark, so he was going to follow me to stop me and come back. Christmas happened, holidays, and yes, I did check his drives, nothing found of course. His wife comes to pick everything up and drives down the gutter to scrape her exhaust. I worried about her, but she didn't seem to care about this rattle. He calls a week later to say they got into his wife's car and tampered with it. He constantly called from new phone numbers and left different names. I tried to ignore him as he already said he has no money. On top of that, the one talk resulted in me remotely checking his fastest laptop to discover he was downloading a massive list of unlimited uTorrent software all at once, which he was saying his YouTube buffers so they are in his stuff again. I tried to be strong, but my voice is like a weak squeaking mouse, and tell him I can't help him if he downloads illegal things. But he told me he isn't doing anything illegal, he did buy it, but they stole the licenses. He attached like a leech, and I needed to be firm and tell him I can't help him, and he asked for another person who could. I gave him the number of a mental hospital. He sent an email absolutely appalled at my conduct and won't be using my services anymore. Oh good.